Hey, I'm Isaac. Let me tell you about this crazy night I had working the graveyard shift at Walmart. I still dream about that scene inside the freezer. It was just me and my coworker, Mark. The store was quiet, eerie almost, with only the dim fluorescent lights buzzing above us. But things were about to get a whole lot creepier. Around midnight, I realized I couldn't find Mark. I figured he might have left early or something, you know. But then I started hearing strange noises echoing through the store, like whispers in the shadows, chilling my bones. I went looking for him, and that's when things took a turn for the worse. As I moved down the dark aisles, a shiver ran down my spine. I called out for Mark, but all I got was the echo of my own voice bouncing back at me. The store felt alive with an unsettling energy, like something was watching me. Goosebumps covered my arms as I stumbled upon the storage room. The storage room, let me tell you, it's the kind of place that gives you the creeps on a regular day, let alone when you're hearing things. I hesitated, my heart pounding, but the curious side of me pushed me forward. It was so dark in there that I could barely see my hand in front of my face. I looked around, feeling the weight of the silence. The noises had stopped, but that just made things worse. That's when I heard it. The faint sound of footsteps, like someone pacing. My heart raced as I followed the sound. It led me to the giant freezer at the back of the room. And let me tell you, that freezer was a beast to open. At that moment, a cold dread washed over me, making me question why I was even there. I mean, why would anyone be in that freezer, right? I stepped out, telling myself I was being ridiculous. But as I continued my shift, that unease lingered. I headed home after my shift, exhausted, and just wanting to forget the whole thing. The next day, when I arrived at Walmart in the afternoon, it was a scene straight out of a horror movie. The place was closed, swarming with police cars and flashing lights. I approached a cop, trembling as I asked what happened. They couldn't give me any details. Panic surged through me as I dialed my manager's number. And what she said, it felt like my heart stopped. Mark was found dead in the freezer that morning. The police had reviewed security footage. What they saw was beyond horrifying. Mark had gone into the storage room like I thought, to grab some supplies. But when he closed the freezer door, a masked man suddenly appeared behind him. A sickening blow to the head, and Mark was dragged into the freezer. Here's the part that still haunts my nightmares. Just 3 minutes later, that's when I walked into the storage room. I was so close to walking right into the clutches of that maniac. The security footage showed him hiding behind boxes, mere feet away from me. It turns out Mark died from hypothermia, not the hit on his head. The man in the mask, he was caught and thrown behind bars for life. But the thing is, they never figured out how he got in or how he got out of that locked storage room. No motive, no rhyme or reason. It's a story that keeps me awake at night, replaying in my mind like a twisted horror movie. The quiet night shift at Walmart turned into a nightmare.
Story 2. The Man. Hey there, I'm Laura. Buckle up because I'm about to tell you about the scariest night of my life. Working the night shift at Walmart. Picture this. I'm wrapping up my shift. Just 2 hours left before I can finally lock up and head home. Everything had been normal, just like any other night. But then, things took a chilling turn. I'm minding my own business, stocking a shelf, when I notice him. A man standing at the end of the aisle, just staring at me. Creepy, right? I ask if he needs help, but he doesn't answer. He just keeps looking, and my unease begins to crawl up my spine. I try again, and this time he vanishes behind another aisle. I brush it off, thinking I'm just being paranoid. Back to stalking, right? Wrong. That eerie feeling lingers, so I head off to do some cleaning instead. I grab the cleaning supplies from the employee-only area, and that's when things get truly terrifying. I hear the door open behind me, and I freeze. Panic clenches my chest as I slowly turn around. There he is again, that same man. This time I'm not just creeped out, I'm angry. I tell him this area is off limits and threaten to call the cops. But he just stands there, expressionless, like a stone statue. Then he turns around and walks out the door slowly. By now, I'm counting down the minutes until my shift is over. I clean, mop, and do anything to keep my mind off that unsettling encounter. Only 30 minutes left, and I'm convinced he's gone. I decide to close up a bit early, chalk it all up to my imagination running wild. So I gather my stuff, switch off the lights, and head to the front door. I insert the key to lock up, feeling a mix of relief and tension. But just as I pull the key out, a hand grabs me from behind. I scream, twist, fight with everything I've got. It's him, that man, and my heart drops. I know I'm in danger. He throws me to the ground, and I can see his face clearly now. No emotion, just this vacant stare. He's approaching, and I'm on my back, vulnerable and terrified. He reaches for my ankles, but I fight back, giving a kick that connects where it hurts the most. He stumbles, and I seize the chance to scramble to my feet. Without a second thought, I bolt for the door, phone in hand, dialing 911. My heart pounds in my chest as I run, and I'm praying that the dispatcher can hear my panic. They tell me to meet the cops at a location, so I head there as fast as I can. But then, a car starts following me. I just know it's him. He thinks he's got me cornered, but I've got a plan. See, I'm leading him straight into the arms of the law. He must think I'm heading home, but I've got the police on my side. I reach the location and yell to the cops, pointing out the car tailing me. They spring into action, surrounding the car, and the man is arrested. He doesn't say a word, just stares. This time, there's something more. A smile. A twisted, chilling grin that sends shivers down my spine. Looking back, I'm still haunted by that night. The fear, the chase. It's like something out of a horror movie. But I made it out alive, and he's behind bars. Sometimes when the night is still and the shadows are deep, I can almost feel his eyes on me. But I hold on to the fact that I escaped, that I stared fear in the face and fought back.
Story 3. I got attacked. Hey folks, David here. Just want to share the scariest moment of my life when a routine day at Walmart turned into something straight out of a horror story. Picture a sunny day, just starting my shift, the sun beaming through the windows. I'd been at this Walmart for almost a year just doing my thing. Stocking shelves, helping customers, all the usual stuff. So there I was, arranging items on the shelves when this guy approaches. He asks about tomatoes. Pretty normal customer request. Nothing about him seemed off at first glance. Just another guy in need of some veggies. I tell him I'll check if we have more tomatoes in the back. No big deal, right? Well, turns out we're out of tomatoes. I go back to the front and tell the guy the news. But that's when everything takes a sharp turn into the bizarre and terrifying. Out of nowhere, this guy shoves me and I stumble back, crashing to the floor. Shocked, confused, and hurting, I'm down on the ground trying to process what's happening. But there he is, charging right at me, pure rage in his eyes. He jumps on me, pinning me down, and starts landing blow after blow to my head. Pain, disorientation, and fear. A whirlwind of sensations. I'm slipping in and out of consciousness. Everything a blur. And then, darkness. The next thing I know, I'm waking up in a hospital bed. My family around me, their worried faces telling me I'm lucky to be alive. My leg is broken, and the doctors are talking about brain injuries. Yeah, things got pretty bad. But the worst part? The man who attacked me managed to get away. He vanished into thin air, leaving behind a wake of confusion and fear. Luckily, my coworker James stepped in like a hero. See, he heard the commotion and came running. And what he saw, it's like something from a nightmare. That man was standing over me, beating my unconscious body. But James didn't freeze. He shouted, he charged, and he pushed that psycho away from me. The guy fell, got up, and sprinted out of the store, disappearing into the unknown. Ambulances and police swarmed the place, but they couldn't find a trace of him. Meanwhile, I was rushed to the hospital, where my body was patched up as best as they could. Thinking back, I can't shake off the feeling of terror. That sunny day turned into an all-out horror show in an instant. I'm grateful to James for saving my life, but the memory of that attack lingers. The store, once a place of routine and normalcy, now holds a dark shadow of the unexpected. And that man, he's out there somewhere. So stay safe, everyone, and learn from my story. Thanks for watching the Haunted Sketchbook. Be sure to check out any of the videos on screen right now if you're planning on not sleeping tonight.